Hello, everyone. This is the Illuminati, spelled with an A, Aluminate. It's the fight one world order of the Illuminati with an the ILL, and you see a lot of these music stars. I seen Jay-Z, Kanye West, some other ones. They make that triangle with the hands. And they supposed to think worshiping the Illuminati is cool, and got all you people thinking that, and they make them. I call it the devil fingers. The two. I think it's the forefinger and the pinky finger, and they do that. Oh, when you worship evil, the devil, you worship your slave master, and I'm gonna prove it because Jesus was a great humanitarian. That's why he was the Messiah. He was a great humanitarian, a role model for humanity, of good, humane, sinless behavior. Well, when you worship the elite in the eye, you worshiping your slave master, and he gonna put you in your place of servitude in the society. If he gives you a high place in society, then he looks like he did you a favor. But in reality, he only put you there to teach the poor masses down here, or to keep the poor masses down here as slaves and servants. And you used to see this on the plantation. I think they call it the Willie Lynch syndrome. Willie Lynch is I want people to see very easily how you control a society. Because if you truly understand God, you understand how they control a society. And these churches, I look at Creflo Dollar, T.D. Jakes, Kenneth Copeland, Joyce Myers, who else? Fred Price. Okay, now that's gutter religion. That's not what true religion is supposed to teach you. They try to analyze the Bible because they're so smart. They analyze the Bible and they're going to tell you some hidden secret in the Bible. The Bible's stories and letters. Paul wrote letters, stories about Jesus, prophecies from God where God spoke through the prophets. And that's why if you ever look at like the book of Malachi, the book of Amos, it seems like God is speaking in the first person. I, God, because they have spiritual prophecies. And I have spiritual prophecies, and I put a holy book on this website. And it's to teach true religion. It's supposed to teach people better, more humane behavior. Okay? And if you think I'm crazy, well, I'm a crazy man trying to teach you all to behave the right way. So if that's crazy, well, then so be it. I'm trying to teach you all to behave more humanely. Because economic and social problems, outside of natural disasters, and maybe some sickness, most of mankind's problems comes from his bad behavior. The bad behavior of people. Because I don't care if you're a capitalist, communist, I don't care what you want to call yourself. If you going to treat me bad and I got to be the servant and the slave, well, I ain't happy. And I don't want to be nobody's servant and slave, and I ain't looking to make nobody a slave. Okay? Because a value of a human being is what he does to ease the suffering of others. If you the eye up top and I'm your slave, well, if you didn't exist, I'm actually better off. Now I might have to tolerate you, and I'm not promoting just kill anybody above you, but I'm trying to make a point. If I'm your slave and you die, well, that's a good thing. Because maybe I don't have no slave master no more. That humanitarian like Jesus, if he dies, I done lost something. Because he was the man who's going to look out for me with health care and look out for me, make sure I got a fair chance as a middle class life. Now, I gotta contribute to society also. I mean, you can't build no welfare state. I understand how some people are. You feed them, the mother feeds that bird, and he won't never fly out of the nest until the mother finally tosses him out because he gets fat and happy sitting there. But so you can't build a welfare state either. I understand both sides of it. But I'm going to explain to you how an ungodly society gets ruled and how it's set up, basically. Now, to go through all the classes in a society, it would take forever, but this is basically how it's set up. You got the elite bankers up top, usually, and the very elite business owners, the super, super rich. Or he could be the communist dictator. He could be the king. He was Pharaoh back in the day. With the days, if you read the book of Exodus, that was Pharaoh. He was the eye. So the eye's always been here. It's just with technology, globalization, it's just becoming a bigger. We have a chance at true one world order now because of technology and all. But the eye's always been here because the eye is people's behavior. It's their evil behavior, their antichrist nature, and their devilish nature. So this is how the elite get put up here. Now, they put their middle. This would be like your middlemen, your conservatives, and I tell you, I call this business, businessmen, management, and your media stars. Now, your media stars might not exist in a true communist dictatorship society or society like that. They might not have the same influence. Because in that society, this might be one solid right across. And that'd be your military in a communist dictatorship. And I call it, and this is why I call the conservatives brown nosers. And it's not that I'm just throwing insults. It's a mentality. This would be your house slave. For you black people, this would be your house slaves. Okay? Now, the house slave or the conservatives or these people in this area, they go along with whatever evil the slave master wants because they want the money. And they live pretty well. And they got all these people down here beneath them. And for this side, like the businessmen and the management, well, they get to crush the people down and use the people down here, the masses down here. So they like the way society's set up because it benefits them. That's the real reason they like it, because they benefit them. So they'll tolerate the evil of the eye, and they'll go along with the evil of the eye because they're doing pretty good, so they don't care. Now, this would be your military in a communist dictatorship. Your military, and what happens when the masses rise, the masses speak out because they don't like what's going on, because they're suffering? Well, you send the military, which is the elite brown nosers, to go kill off all these poor people, and they just want some justice. So that's why I call a brown noser, and I call them brown nosing jackasses. They'll go along, jackasses. I call them brown nosing jackasses because they'll go along with any evil that the elite wants. They don't care who suffers because they don't care, and they'll happily do it. And a lot of you Christian conservatives, you fall into this area, and I'm gonna tell you why. From what I've heard from Christian conservatives often, they're quick to talk about the sin down here, abortion, this, that. They're quick but they never talk about the greed of the elite. They never say anything about that. I always hear them, and this is what Republicans tend to fall in here. I'm in America, so Republicans tend to fall in here. The conservatives, they support the greed of the elite, but then they always want to talk about the sin down here. And Karl Marx called them the bourgeoisie. They support and protect and nurture the elite eye. And they go along with the elite eye. Now over here, you media stars, and a lot of you, like I said, I see a lot of you making that triangle, and I think they put a little circle around their eye, and like with one hand, and these are all these Illuminati with the eye signs, and okay, you're being made house slaves of. They let you live pretty good. You get your little mansions and your big cars and all that other stuff. But your job, in their eyes, I'm going to tell you how they look at you. Your job in their eyes is to teach corruption to the masses down here. What Karl Marx called the masses the proletariat. The liberals. There's the reason the liberals are down here. You ever notice most of the liberals are poor? And most of the conservatives usually got money. There's a reason for that. Well, you media stars, Your job is they have you guys pumping plenty of sin down here. Sin and bad behavior, craziness behavior, sexual lust, and all you women talk about all men are dogs. Well, ungodly men are dogs by nature because they got no desire to control themselves. And with the hypersexual nature of society and the way you women dress has something to do with it. You want to show everything, and then you wonder, well, how come I can't find a man who ain't a dog? Well, because they looking at a bunch of freaking meat around and they want to get all the meat they can, because it comes down to people's behavior. People have to, this is why the Lord tells women to stay covered up and keep her private and wear loose clothing. So because you don't promote the animal nature of men. Because men, an ungodly man, he ain't got no desire to control himself. He thinks it's good not to control himself. The man of God realizes he has to see past all these sins of the world and do his best to behave right. But you women, you're being taught this promiscuity also. And you stars, you teach this promiscuity and this craziness, wearing your pants down and getting these tattoos all over you. You teach all this gangster rap and all this hardcore rock and roll, and you think you're rebelling against the power structure, and you are. Back in the 60s, it was the hippies. You're trying to rebel against the servitude of this power structure, but they got you rebelling against it because he's trying to control it from both sides. He's trying to get this side, the business, the management, or to keep you in line and keep you as good workers. But at the same time, he don't want you all getting together and becoming revolutionaries. So on this side, he's pumping all the sin in to keep y'all fighting amongst each other. So that's why you get the gang wars and the drug wars and all this other stuff. This is where all this stuff is coming from, because he's trying to control you all on both ends. Don't think he don't think like this. He ain't no humanitarian sitting up there worrying about he don't care if millions of you die off as long as he can control all the wealth. So hold on, I gotta stop this. I can only put something so long on YouTube, so I'm gonna continue it in the next one. Verse number 2. Not verse 2, but the second video.